All right, it's Power to 6 where hip-hop lives. Jeff Garcia representing Big Boy's Neighborhood. Introduce yourself to all these people watching.
Hi, how are you? I'm Nestor Carbonell from The Dark Knight.
All right, so let's talk about Batman, the comic, and the superhero. Were you a fan ever growing up? I mean, was this kind of something like, dude, I used to read this comic, and this is kind of cool. I'm a part of this now.
Right. I didn't used to read the comic, but I certainly watched, the TV shows and the films, the earlier films. I mean, way back when. Like, I remember being in Mexico as a kid, and I watched one of the movies back then. So, yeah, I was a huge Batman fan, and I have other connections with the superhero. About 15 years ago, I was starting out here, and I was just looking for work, and a buddy of mine was doing parties, and he did Batman, but he had a really bad costume. But he asked me to sub in for him, and I subbed in, and I figured I'll just show up and I'll entertain the kids, and it was just a disaster. It was just terrible. I mean, I didn't know my Batman lingo. I had a really bad utility belt, and they tried to rip my mask off, so I almost walked away in tears, and it was just I didn't get tipped. It was terrible. But so that's my other connection with Batman, and then the only other thing is I got to play this character called Batmanuel on The Tick, this show called The Tick.
I remember it,
yeah, but that wasn't exactly Batman.
Right on. That's funny. That's some good insight. See, the party circuit can be a hectic one.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. No, I quit the party circuit. Now when my kids have a party, we get a professional, a real Batman, the real guy.
You ever tell your kids that story?
Not yet. No, my kids are so unimpressed with acting and the whole thing. They could. I always joke because my eldest son is. I always feel like he came out of the womb with his arms crossed, like not impressed with the world, with anything. So even if I tell him, dude, look, I'm in this Batman movie. He's like, when's lunch? It's like, when's my snack? When are we going to the park? He sort of brings you back to earth. So.
That's great. Gotta love it, man. Now let's talk a little bit about, let's remind everybody once again, Dark Knight in theaters on Friday. You guys go see it. Like Nestor said, it plays great everywhere. If you can, catch it in IMAX. It's going to be a great film, and it's going to be the summer blockbuster. There's no doubt about it. I mean, you guys, it's a slam dunk at this point. You're feeling it, right?
You're hearing a lot of people talk about it, and I understand there's a lot of tickets pre-sold, and I'm just anxious for people to see this film. It's really an amazing movie. I mean, it really scores on every level. I think everyone's going to be excited to see it, adults as well as teenagers. It plays to everybody. It's a deep movie too, so you'll get something out of it.
Looks good, man. Now I can't let you go without talking about Lost, dude. I'm like the biggest Lost nerd since day one. You play Richard on Lost, and how many times when you're walking on the street do people hit you up and ask you about Lost?
It's great. It's always a great thing, and now they're wondering where the island is, and what my secret is in not aging. So
right.
Because apparently my character doesn't age.
He does have different hairstyles, though.
Yeah, he does. He mixes it up over the decades. Right. Yeah, I know. But I guess I don't know. I don't have the answers, and it's interesting. I had lunch with one of the producers, who's a Carlton Cuse, and didn't give up much either. No. And I like it that way. It keeps me guessing. It keeps all the actors guessing, and it keeps the audience obviously on their toes. So just don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I read some stuff in magazines that they don't really give you guys information very far in advance. It's kind of like one episode or whatever at a time, just enough to keep you going and working, but they don't want to let any secrets out.
No, and I think they know where they're going. They have the end in mind, and they have all the parameters within. But I think they do give themselves wiggle room to say, what if we go in this direction for a little while. So, and I think that's part of it. But the other thing is, you're right. They want to keep the mystery alive within us as much as within the audience.
So what do you think, Nestor, makes Lost so compelling and have people attached to it so much, and just always having that curiosity?
I think at the heart of it, it's a character study. That's what it is. Even though it's at the island and there's a plane crash and all these things, and that there's mystery and all that, but at the end of it, I think you're hooked into the characters. And that's what it's about, because they're all really well defined. They've all got major flaws, major issues. So there's not one individual who's a good guy or necessarily a bad guy. They all have flaws. They're all really well drawn out, and you sort of get invested in the roles. As a viewer, that's what I get out of it, and that's why I got hooked.
So, Nestor, if you could write the perfect ending to Lost in, let's say, 30 seconds or less, how would you put a bow on Lost?
I don't see. That's the thing. I don't think they want to put a bow, and I wouldn't want to put a bow on Lost. In the same way that The Sopranos, you didn't know what happened in the end of that. I'd like for them to leave enough mystery to let you as a viewer, or me as a viewer, whatever, all of us, imagine what it could be. So, yeah, some answers. reveals some of the answers, but leaves some of that mystery out there.
Very good. Nestor Carbonell, thank you for coming by, man. The Dark Knight in theaters. Appreciate it, man. July 18th, Friday. Go out and check it out. And, of course, Lost will be back in the fall?
Actually, I think it's January of next year, but we'll be shooting in the fall.
You're killing me, man. There's nothing else to watch, dude.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me, man.
It's Power 106 where hip-hop lives.
Where do we begin? A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened?
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman. Here's my card.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for a normal life.
You're Alfred, right?
That's right, sir.
Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
I've seen now what would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
And here we go. This city deserves a better class of criminal. I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Will you be wanting the back putt, sir?
Middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.